I'm John Warner, the game director for Anthem.
So John, talk about what type of game this is. What genre is this game?
Well, you can look at that in a couple different ways. It is a shared world social RPG, sometimes known as the shooter-looter. And it is, from a from a genre perspective, it is a science fantasy adventure.
Can you talk about what you guys have learned, like from Dragon Age and Mass Effect, that you've applied into this world of Anthem?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that we learn from every game that we make, and whether it's new open world mechanics, as we started, playing around with in Dragon Age Inquisition, and the kind of the continuation of the lessons we learned from starting with Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and then into our other multiplayer components. I think we brought all of those lessons forward into Anthem.
So the big announcement was no PvP. Talk a little bit about that decision.
Sure. We knew right from the start that we wanted to create a cooperative experience because we didn't want to mess around with the power curves on our gear and weapons. We wanted them to be over the top. We didn't want to have to, bring that down to balance it for PvP.
Yeah, especially when you're working in a game where you have levels and item tiers. If this person is higher level in item tiers, you have no chance to beat him on a numerical level. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. PvP has to, at the end of the day, be a game of skill. And so we decided that was not a challenge we wanted to address at the start of this, at least.
So talk about the world in Anthem. It's a very interesting world. It's science fiction-y, but it maintains a lot of fantasy elements as well.
Yeah, it does. And like I said before, that was certainly by design. We wanted it to be a science fantasy IP. And so we decided that we were going to make this a world that has been abandoned by its gods, but partway through the creation process. So it is literally an unfinished world, and it is super dangerous as a result of that. And so it requires heroes who are able to use these javelin exosuits because it gives them these super heroic powers to go out and just deal with the world.
You guys are really famous for world building. I mean, Mass Effect, is Jedi Knights of the Old Republic, and of course Dragon Age. Talk about the world building process for Anthem. I know it was pretty deep. Just kind of glance over it a little bit.
Here's the Reader's Digest version.
30 minutes later.
And then we did this. No, I think that our process is really going deep, and even though we're only going to show a small portion of the world in Anthem, we went in and really understood the entire world and its history and its cultures so that we could kind of authentically represent our cast of characters and the situation that we present in this game.
You guys also are doing something really interesting that I love in your RPGs is you're allowing me to play how I want to play. I'm not locked into a class or a mech suit. I can interchange it whenever I want.
Yeah, we're really pleased with this too. You play as a Freelancer Pilot. You can think of that as kind of a meta character almost, where your pilot will have a series of skill trees that you can invest in, and those skills go across the board in all the different javelins that you unlock and play with.
So talk a little about the combat in this game. It's real time, and you even have the classic numbers going above the head like an RPG or like Borderlands.
Yeah, it is a much more kind of action-oriented combat. And we have the damage floaties up there just so you can see where you're having the most effect. You can easily find weak spots or vulnerabilities and see when you're getting those awesome crits and combos. There is, of course, as people have often asked us on Twitter, the option to turn those down or turn them off.
So can you talk about the scale of these worlds? Is Anthem a vast open world game, or is it more of a hub sectional world?
It is a vast open world game. It does have some player hubs, Fort Tarsus and the Strider, but once you get out into the open world, it is one contiguous open world.